Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Samurai Schultz, and welcome to Unreal Engine. So, I think yesterday we were working on this area, right? So pretty much in the hour and 40 minutes or however long we worked, um, we got this done. We worked on the stairs a little bit. We kind of created a bug with the stairs so that when I play, can't really properly walk up them. So there's something going on with the collision when we scaled them up. Um, Unfortunately. But today, I want to fix that, and then I want to fix this bridge here. We need to have some support under there. We need to detail it. And I actually started putting up a wall. And the way I did that was, you might have seen it on my screen, but I had... Oh, actually, it captures it even if it's not on the same monitor. Cool. Uh, but basically, I have this list of numbers rated 1 through 3. And the reason I have that is, I'll just show you in a second, is because I have these 3 wide wall static meshes right here. See that? And I want to alternate them in a way that makes it look like an organically broken wall. That it's kind of been violently damaged in some places, but it's also old, and it's not really uniform. So that's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish here. Let's actually switch to lit, and let's see how that looks. And it looks okay. We need to lower some of these, bring those closer together. But I think basically this is what I'm going for right here. And I turned some of them upside down. Some of them I turned them upside down, and I decreased the height. Like this one is raised down. I think this one I even doubled up on, uh, just to give it some variety. But I'm using that list of numbers 1 through 3 to just randomly place them. So I just use Copilot to generate that list. Because why not? There's not like I could do a better job of randomly generating them myself. Oh, that's so cool. I like that little nook right there. That works out well. Okay, let's actually, yeah, let's make sure that's all kosher. You know what? Oops. We don't need to lower the rest of them. We just need to lower these ones. Hmm. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. I like that. I like it a lot. Okay. But anyways, we need to make sure that we actually get that done. So, hold your horses. I'm gonna do something. Oh, it updates right away. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay. So, this is my branch, Samoria, because my collaborator does not know how to spell my name. But anyway, we want to level design. My goodness. Okay. I was going to sneeze, I think. But it's one of the downsides of this Red Bull is I kind of have a food sensitivity to sugar, and it does not work well with my sinuses. Ugh. Nothing worse than a sneeze you can't get out. Okay, so level design. We want to debug the stairs. That's super important because it's not just going up to a separate POI. That's basically in the route around the entire bridge map. Or that, like, if you can't go on the stairs, then you can't explore the rest of the bridge part of the map. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm going for. Hold up. Alright, select that again. There we go. Okay. So debug stairs. And let's see. Finish. Finish bridge of pillared bridge of lower bridge section. Let's put that in quotes so we know it's an official section. Anything else? Let's take a gander. That's right. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. That just constantly covers my screen in OBS. That's hilarious. Wait, hold on. There you go. Now you can actually see. Can you? No. Well, I can't. That is so weird. It's frozen in OBS. I'm moving around. Huh. How peculiar. Hmm. So you guys can see GitHub just fine. There it is, full screen. What? Okay, what if I switch GitHub to... I disagree with this. That's weird. Okay. I don't know what to do about that, but we're rolling with it. Okay. So let's go in here. So we've got... Let me switch that to GitHub again. Okay. Got a little distracted there. Okay, so we have debug stairs, and then we have finish pillared bridge of lower bridge section. I think the last couple times I kind of overestimated what I could do. So I'm going to leave that there. If we get that done, then we'll just come back and do some more. Assign some more, that is. Or maybe I'll even switch over to my other project. We'll see. Okie dokie. There we go. Okay. Let's see, stairs. Okay, something I'd like to try is decreasing the X and Y scale. Or actually, let's not even do that. Let's just make them closer together. So originally they were at negative 234. Let's just make them at negative 300 to start. We are okay. We're still having problems with collision. I know what to do. Yeah. Something I should have done a long time ago. Something I should have been doing from the start. Where the who's it? Oh. Okay. Okay, let's rotate on oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. Um well, huh. Yeah, so some of these stairs don't work. And when you rotate oh man. This really oh, there we go. Correction rotation. Okay. Okay. We're chilling. Wrong way. Wrong. Okay. There we go. It's perfect now. Nothing could be better. Correction length. Hmm. Perfect first try? No way. Okay, maybe we change that to -40 just so it's a better number. Okay, we have to increase the count height. This way. Oh, you know what? We're going to set the pivot point up here. Just so we can align it with this here edge. And this here edge. Oh, look at that edge. Pristine. Pristine edge, if you ask me. Yeah, okay. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay. Moment of truth. Please work with player collision. Oh, that works pretty well. Not gonna lie, that works pretty well. Up. We go up. We can. Yes. 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 Okay. And that's why sometimes just gutting a feature is better than trying to fix it. Because does this look worse than the stairs that we had before? Arguably so. But does it actually work and not take, potentially hours of our precious time that we could be spending building the rest of the level of the entire map? Yes. That's why I choose that. All right, we had our fire. It looks more flamey than fiery, but Rotro Reggie. Relatin. Yeah. And to be honest, I have no idea what the heck this is supposed to even be. Like, I mean, okay. We gotta figure out how to not let the player fall off of that. But for now, it's okay. And oh, I wonder how if we can squeeze. Oh yeah, okay. Don't know why I thought you couldn't squeeze through there. How's this feeling? Also, I think I was talking last stream about how we need that zoom feature. Gotta have that zoom feature, I feel like. Definitely need that. It wouldn't be that hard to implement. It's just a lerping between, it would be a lerping between field of view value, and the one that we want to have. Let's see, what else would it involve? That's pretty much it. I feel like I'm missing something, but I can't think of anything. Okay, so we fixed the stairs, and obviously we have some cleanup to do here so that it looks nicer. I don't care about that right now. I care about this, because this is very important for the player so that it's very environmentally, how do I say this? It's got potential for aesthetic. That's what I mean to say. Okay, but anyway. That should be there, that should be there, that should be there, that should be there. So in order to do that, whoops, we're going to need to have that. Actually, this will be a way easier if we have this centered on here. Let's see, so what's that value? We're going to take our green value there and put it on our green value here. Okay, perfect. So now we basically have two ways that we can shorten the gap. I mean, I can't think of anything right now other than these two ways. We can either change the scale. Nope, not that scale. This scale, which kind of has some deforming properties, but it'll work to an extent. Or we can, no, not that one. We can decrease the correction length. It's technically going farther and farther into the negatives, which is why I say decrease. Or we can do both, which we kind of have done. Let's see, it's this one. We could do one there. You know what? How does 1.5 look? 1.5 looks... 1.5 is actually overdoing it. So, best is probably a hybrid between those two. And with the scale, it's a lot easier to get the distance right because it's much more sensitive. Well, we do have that snapping on, so that's something. But if I use the widget, that might make it a little bit easier. Also, scale doesn't really tell us what we want to know, because what we want to know is what is the distance that we need to have in between these meshes in order for them to properly line up. And it would tell us that right here, basically. But when we use the scale, it's just saying, okay, how large or how small do we need to make it? It's not giving us an answer that is preferable. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh my gosh. Never mind. For a second, I thought this was the same piece as that, and that means we could literally just duplicate it, but nope. And it's also a different size, even though it kind of looks like it could be the same size. Because this is scaled up a ton. Because the normal size of this is, let's take a look actually. That's the normal size. It's a little peewee. Little peewee one. puny thing. Okay, overextending a little bit, so you can see do 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 till we pretty much get a 45-degree angle between our meshes that we want to have a 90-degree relationship with. So yeah, but when we do this, we get some weird clipping, but that's okay. It kind of looks natural and it's fairly centered, so it doesn't stick out too much. One of my axioms is that usually even numbers I mean if it's divisible by 2 and or by 5, even numbers are going to work. They're going to get you the results that you want. That's why I chose 290. So I'm kind of like sliding it all over the place. Maybe we'll try negative 275. That's divisible by 5. And if we look over here, looks to be spot on. And even if it's not right on, it looks right on, and that's what matters. And also, it's really only pertaining to this bridge structure, so we're not going to have a problem later. Okay, so I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to change this to pillar. Okay, that's from props. What? What the what? Okay, so we have column. There, okay, it's called column. Gosh dang it. What a silly name. What a silly name. Those blokes must be from the UK or something. They're very silly. Oh. We want to change that? What? Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna get out another modular floor. I don't know why I was doing that with the scale. I set the X and the Y scale to... Set the X and the Y scale to... something. Can't even remember what I was saying 2 seconds ago. I set the X and the Y scale to 1, so that the width on each side would be relatively the same, or about the same. And they were different, drastically different. Let's see if it works. Yeah, see, this is what we want. It's not like a perfect square, but it looks pretty good still. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let us... Crap. No, wait, this will work. This can work. Wait. Shoot. Why doesn't negative work? I want it to go the other way. I want it to go in the negative X. Rats. What's the scale here? So 1.75 and 2 and 2. Okay. So I'm going to take that, set it to 2, and then I'm going to unlock it, set it to 1.75. And correction length. Oh, correction length. Well, it's not the same. Dang it. So I gotta figure out a new correction length. Which I'm sure will not take any time at all. It'll be fine. 370. 360 first try. Oh, 760. 360. How did I press 7? I meant to press 3. What the heck? 350. I'm sure. Not terrible. Yeah, we actually need to increase the correction length here. And we need to change that to 2. We gotta change this. You know what I just realized? Realized I'm a big old dummy. I'm a dum-dum. Because... Yeah, see? See, look at that? See that little... Choogie woogie? And this has got to line up with that. And also it would just look better anyways to have this contrast, these lines just not hidden by the shadow in here. So we want that. And let's actually switch to unlit. And we're just gonna adjust it slightly. More slightly than a chiropractor. Oh yeah. Okay, and then obviously we need to change our correction length. And right. Yeah. So now everything's kind of messed up, but that's fine. We'll just get it back in order. 630. We gotta switch back again. 620. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Oh yeah, and then I realized. I feel like sometimes I'm narrating myself when I stutter. And then I realized that I'm gonna have to move all of these pillars back that away. Otherwise, this should be an ugly gap. Okay. Let's get a little sip. Sense the tropical flavor of Red Bull. Sorry, what? Why the hell do I have... Please don't tell me there's text attached to all of them. Why? Why is there only text for this first one? I don't know. Why is it... I don't get it. What? Why? 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 Okay, if I... Yeah, see, oh, why? I know that if I keep asking why, the answer will not appear. But you gotta admit, that's That's pretty messed up. That's pretty messed up. That's just like... Okay, can I just delete this? I can't delete it. Okay, if I just... There we go, a space. Oh, why is there... Oh, this is the new... Wait, hold on. Hold on. Don't worry. Has there been text... There's text attached to that. Wait, it's not... Is it available... Is it not available? Is it visible in... It's visible in game. I don't... what? Okay, I'm just... It's on the old and the new version of the level art tool. So... There's nothing I can do, really. Which is fine. That's fine. It's okay. Wait, actually... Wait, hold on. Modular wall and pillar. Is there text on this? There isn't. Doesn't look like it. Don't look like it. It does not look like it. Oh, that's wall and pillar. What if I just want to choose... What if I just want null? I don't want anything for that. I just want pillar. Too bad. Okay, anything else? Modular walls. Modular walls. Okay, I don't see any text on this one. Correction rotation. Yeah, okay, that doesn't matter. Oh, weird. Okay, they don't rotate in a particularly good way. Okay, if I increase that, there, we have correction lengths. Got correction length there. Okay. That makes me happy. It looks like it's working. Okay, so let's get this over. All right, you know what? I'm just going to go to this. I'm going to copy that location, paste it, and then I'm going to go to this again, copy that scale, and paste again. Okay, it starts from the bottom and goes to the top, which is not a huge problem, actually. We can fix that. So we're just going to decrease the height. And then because the main thing is just getting it from this way to that way. We just want to get across the bridge. And then when we're done, we can lower it as far down as we need to. And we can increase the height. And then increase the height count, the instance count. And then we can adjust it as needed from there. Okay, so whoops, wrong thing. Correction length. Okay, we didn't even figure that out there. So I'm actually going to delete that. This looks like it's it. So width, well, that's fine. Height we don't need to mess with. Correction length this way. Nice, nice. Okay, so maybe 3. Okay, let's go 385 and look at that from there. Okay. Sorry, I don't know how the heck I did that. How did I even do that? I don't know if you saw it. I just like zoomed out involuntarily. Hmm. That is strange. Okay. Not a huge difference, to be honest. It does kind of make a difference over time, though. So, I'm going to adjust this. Okay, so 390. Okay, that's way too much. 387. Yeah, so here's an instance where our nice even numbers don't help. Okay, all right. Okay, let's win. Okay, what if I want it not just in height and width? What if I want some over here? What if I want some on this side? I just gotta copy it over, I guess, huh? Woe is me. How are we doing today, though, chat? How are we doing? I hope you are well. Okay. I saw a video from this channel that I haven't seen in a while, because I thought that they only made TikToks and Reels. But they're called The Angry Asian. And they were talking about how streaming and watching streamers is kind of for degenerates. And not gonna lie, I felt a little called out at first, and then I realized what he was talking about, and I was like, not really talking about me. It's mostly the people who are like the streamers who just sit there and they're like, "Oh, thanks for the 500." You know? Uh yeah. Like people who don't really contribute any meaningful content. Like I hope that this is meaningful. I have reason to believe that what I'm making here is meaningful because I'm working on a game that's going to further my game development skills. If people want to ask questions about game development, I can either say no, I don't know, or I can actually give advice. I guess as far as I'm comfortable with that, as long as I feel like I can actually give good advice, I will. Maybe not even advice, just like how do I use this tool or something like that. Okay, so for each of these, shoot, can't. I wish I could edit the. Not that one. That lines up pretty well. I'm happy with that. It's almost right on the edge too. Wow. Where did the voice crack come from? What the heck? Okay, so we increased our X count there. Yeah, like the streamers that what am I trying to say here? Oh, sorry, the people who watch streamers that stream for like 6 or 7 hours a day. Something crazy like that. Maybe it's not even 6 or 7 hours. Maybe it's like 4 hours. Like I feel like that's too long for either party. Because you're sitting down in a chair. I mean, both parties again are sitting down in a chair probably and just watching. And like there's no way somebody is making 4 hours of unscripted content that's actually going to benefit you directly. Like, really? Really? You really think that's gonna help? I doubt it. Okay, now we got that there. And we still got it nice and almost lined up. Almost lined up. Hmm. I'm gonna take that one, put it there. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your chat, Sarah. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Okay, we need to increase our instance count there. But yeah, I definitely agree with a lot of his points. Like, if you're, I don't know, if you're like, I think he said something along the lines of if you're a tier 3 sub for Pokimane, like, why? Like, she's like more than 10 times richer than you, and you're giving her money. Does, does she need it? She like gonna give it to charity? She gonna make, a cinematic masterpiece? It's kind of an investment or lack thereof, and I can't do that in good conscience, really, for most of them. Okay, for this, I think it would be kind of interesting if this was, instead of being, okay, let's find the floor. Excuse me. Floor cube small, floor cube rectangle. And I should save. Serial override. I wasn't gonna work on this today, so I'm gonna leave that alone actually. Let's just undo adding that at all. Okay. I got the bridge. And we just finished the lower half. Holy crap, that took a while. Holy moly. That is not bad. Alright, let's even... I wonder if this will look bad, but maybe we add... We add another pillar right here. Okay, that doesn't look egregious. Okay, now we have to go through each of these, and we have to increase it by 2, because we moved it over 2, right? Isn't that what we did? Yes. Nice. Nice. I need water. Oh. If it had a triangular roof, that would be phenomenal. Because what does this look like? S is for silly people who know how to have fun. H is for happiness, is what they get when they're done. I is for I know exactly what to do. T is for trying your best every time you have to. And what do you get? Shit. YouTube, don't censor me. Please, 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 please. Oh yeah, we also need to fix that up. Because when I play here... Well, also the lighting is terrible in here, but I can't get back up there. And then when I try to go over here, just, yeah. You heard wrong, YouTube. Actually, I said ship. As in, this product is ready to ship. This game is ready to ship. Oh, I wonder... Wow, I can do it, guys. I knew it. I knew I could get on top of the pillar. This is amazing. Incredible. Wait a second. I just realized the river below me, the river, it's going to be an aqueduct soon. Once I make it into an aqueduct. Its mesh is a floor, but the actual material that's wrapping around that mesh is water. So I should be able to land on it because it should have collision. Yeah. Also, this is the goofiest water movement ever. Like, what? Like, it's going up and down a ton, but it's got, like, super tiny... Just, like, tiny ripples. It's kind of hypnotizing, to be honest. Wake up. Ugh. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Not bad. Okay. I think. Excuse me. Excuse me. We can move this down and then increase the height because yes, listen. Also, for like a lot of streamers, and I'm not trying to name any names. Not that I wouldn't if I cared to. But most streamers just feel like they have fake personalities. Like they're just there for the money. And as a consumer, that means that I'm getting a worse product slash service, whatever you would call. Well, yeah, it would be a service technically, because it's a streaming service. It means that you're getting less bang for your dono. And I can't abide by that. Can't abide. You know what? Fair. That is fair. Wait, what if I change the... Yeah, see, here it changes the rotation of that. I went to bed a little too late last night. That's why I'm a little silly. A little silly today. Feeling a little silly. Okay, let's set that to 50. What? What even happened? Wait, what? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Oh. Wait. Oh, I see. Okay. So we're going to delete that. We're going to delete this. And then just copy that over. I mean, if you want, like, for people out there, like, I'm not telling you what to do. Like, you can, you can have your hobbies, but just know that you shouldn't delude yourself, you know. Don't try to make it a parasocial thing where you think your $500 donation is going to win you a relationship, romantic or otherwise, with with anybody that you watch. And also, like, why would you want to? Like, you really think you know everything about a person just because you watch them? Just because you watch. I mean, I guess you are watching them a lot, so. Probably, if you're willing to give that amount of money. 50, 75. But also, like, it's just, yeah. You gotta admit that's like being irresponsible with your money too. It's not gonna do anything for you in the long term. Maybe I should just, maybe I should just cover this up, to be honest. I ain't even gonna lie. Finna lie, even. Flatten. It's beautiful. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna look back at GitHub. Debug stairs. We already got that done. Finish pillar bridge of lower bridge section. Okay. We've pretty much completed this. Hold that thought. We've completed this for the most part, really. Once we make the architecture for the aqueduct, then we'll have to maybe add some pieces to fill the gap in between this pillar and the aqueduct. Maybe we'll put some rocks down here. Something. Maybe we'll even put like a man-made structure at the bottom to show that they built something. You know what? I'm actually gonna do that now. I'll do that. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna copy. Oops. I'm actually gonna take both of these. I'm gonna take those down so that we know exactly how wide and where to place this. Let's go back to landscape mode. Let's sculpt this up a little bit. Sculpt, 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 sculpt. Whoops. Sculpt, 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 sculpt. Sculpt, sculpt. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. I'd like to get a little bit more height. Move this down. Modular floor. Okay. New level art tools. Okay, let's use that. And we've reached the halfway mark. Hold on, I gotta read something here. A little text. Yeah. Scam text looks like. Or maybe it's legit and I've lost everything in my bank account. It's possible. That's possible. Correction length. Wrong. Wrong one. Ooh, look at that water. Look at that water. Honestly, when you look at it up close, it doesn't look bad. But just... That's pretty bad from far away. Oh, right. Yeah, forgot about that. Oh. I'm gonna make this minus 0.5. And let's actually switch back to landscape and we can, let's decrease that brush size first of all. I don't get why the text is there. Like, what's the purpose of that? I mean, I assume that there's a way to make this just invisible in game. Let's actually, let's open this up. Text render, if we just turn off visible in game. Or, yeah, hidden in game. Boom. Right there, okay. I'm not going to edit it right now. I'm just going to stick to landscape. It's something that we can do and it's all done. Oh. I think I'm going to work on this until 12:30. Actually, maybe even sooner, because we're pretty much done here. All I have to do is this bottom part. Perfect. Okay. Actually, we'll have to just scooch this back to make that fit. Oh, a little bit more. Even more. Whoops, that's too much. That's just right. Ooh, that was kind of dumb. I could have just pulled that down there. Anyway. Oh well. A minor inefficiency. It'd be kind of funny if I added some enemies down here. So if the player somehow falls down and happens to land here, they just have no choice but to die. What a pointless encounter. That would be great. Let's decrease that. Oh, actually, yeah, we do want that out all the way anyways. Except for the last two. Yeah, that one's gonna come down there. That one's gonna hit. This one's gonna hit in there. Okay. So this, we can decrease that. Because, yep, okay, I'll meet up. Man, that'd be hard to build to the bottom of that. Let's flatten this a little bit. We're going to set it to raise, increase the brush size a ton. But yeah, after I finish this little bit here, I'm gonna work on my other project. Because I have been slacking on that. I've only been doing this and editing a video for the past week. Well, not for the past week, for all of this week. Thus far. Except for Monday, when I was sick. I totally forgot. I've got this bit up here. I could add more detail to that. I could add some supports down there or whatever, but this is way more important. Okay. So we got Copilot right here. We got Copilot right here. Now I'm showing it. Let's go back to selection mode. So let's see, how many elements do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're at 1 and then 3. Where is it? Okay, so we need this guy right there. And man, there's just not really a great place to put this, is there? Okay, let's copy this and paste it there. What if I turn this upside down? Man, this is kind of tedious. I'm gonna put this off screen because you guys can see it anyway. I just realized it doesn't matter where I put it on my screen. It's gonna show up the same for you guys. That's silly of me. Anyway, let's get back to this. But yeah, kind of on the same. I know I just keep coming back to the streamer thing because I always kind of when I watch YouTube videos off camera, I like to just practice doing commentary. So I I freaking pause the video and then I talk like there's somebody watching, just because it kind of helps me process my thoughts a little bit better. Process. And I kind of came up with the term wrathful leisure because whether it's watching streamers or watching YouTube or playing video games, any kind of passive or even interactive entertainment, I think people in general, especially my generation, Gen Z, we tend to overstimulate ourselves. And instead of using our leisure time well, leisure, not leisure, we kind of just waste away our talents by watching somebody else use theirs, or not even use theirs, they just don't use their talents well. And that's kind of sad to me. That's not like sad as in like, oh, you're pathetic and I hate you. It's just you're not going to reach your potential that way. And that's kind of heartbreaking. Like there's no way to gotta turn this on silent. There's no way to become more than you are by just even if you work really hard, if you don't use your leisure time well, leisure, you don't use your leisure time well, then you can't grow. Like, I'm not saying you need to be, productive when you are off work. You need to be like constantly productive, but there's kind of a happy medium there, you know? 1, 2, 1. Okay. 1, 2, 1. This is the example I thought of yesterday is if you work at a job where maybe you're a customer service representative and you just get asked a lot of stupid questions every day, but other than that, it's just an easy job, right? And I think this might be at the root of why people say these really tedious but low effort jobs are hard. Especially Gen Z. Gen Z complains about this a lot. I think it's because I really feel like it's because they don't use their leisure time well. They're not allowing themselves to rest after work. They just go home and they want to relax and binge a whole series on Netflix. Like that's not actually developing your brain. That's just destroying it. I'm gonna move this away actually. I'm gonna move some of these. So yeah, I'm not saying like people who watch streamers are the worst people, or if you're a streamer, you greedy dirtbag, give that money to me. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying we should incentivize. If you're a content creator, you should incentivize people using their leisure time well by making content that makes good use of their leisure time. Like, don't make a video with news where you just waffle on and on so that your hours watched rate goes up. That's ridiculous. And I feel like anybody can see that that's not worthwhile. Let's see, what is this? That's 1. Okay. There. 3, 2, 3, 3. 3, 2, 3. Oh, 3. And maybe maybe I'm a bit hypocritical. I haven't really made that many videos. I've barely made any. I would consider myself a YouTube streamer more than a YouTuber. I think I heard somebody say once, I think they were a YouTuber too. I don't remember who it was. But they said if you haven't made 100 videos yet, you're not really a YouTuber. And like, well, I'm not sure I necessarily agree with the 100 videos. I think you kind of have to be careful with how you use numbers like that. If you make a video a year, and you know, I guess it just, I don't know. I don't know exactly how you would define that, but hmm, oops, let's turn that off. Why did I even start talking about whether or not you're a YouTuber? I don't remember. To be frank, I don't remember. But yeah. If you're a content creator, make sure that you're making content that isn't just that isn't all waffle. That's actually got some, or that it's not even mostly waffle. Like I hate it when I watch a video. Like I think there was a video somebody made on Arc Raiders the other day, and they said, oh, you know, the news, the actual news was basically Embark, the studio that made Arc Raiders, is signed up for the Summer Game Fest. I think that's what it's called. And that means that they might release Arc Raiders on June 6th or within the first half of June. Just say that. Just say that and then show the evidence and then be done. But instead they made like I don't know, it was like a 6-minute video. And they were just basically like, yeah, 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 I'm so excited. And yep, I actually had to tell you guys. Yep, yep, I know, I know. It's yeah, I just can't appreciate that. It's just a ton of what are we doing? Like there's no point to there's no point to making that much noise about it. But yeah, it's just kind of a waste of time. But at least in YouTube, you kind of have more respect because people are actually making something that's way more consolidated than something like Twitch, where you might get 10 minutes worth of information in 6 hours because A, the streamer is dumb, and or they are not articulate and they don't know how to speak on the issue that they're talking about. Or maybe it's a debate on Twitch. Like, I feel like a lot of political streamers on Twitch just. And this is on the left and the right. They just kind of. I mean, even besides letting their emotions get control of them, they kind of. They don't really get to the core of an issue, I feel like. 1, 2, 3. Nice. 1, 2, 3. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Hmm. Nice. Hmm. Yeah, maybe I'll de-randomize it a little bit. Because it's looking a little too patchy almost compared to the, well, the pillars that are clearly in way better order. But we'll see. Hmm. There's been like so many points during this stream where I've just wanted to stop and just go take a nap or something like that. But then I think, well, not really because I want to go take a nap. Is what I realize. It's because I'm tired and I don't want to do work. But then I think if I stop the stream right here and I say, "Oh man, I'm feeling really tired. Oh man, I'm feeling kind of uncomfortable today too, and I feel a little bit too warm. It's kind of warm in here. Uh, oh man, my knee's acting up." Like I could give all these excuses, and that's okay, I guess. But if I stop streaming right now, what would I do about it? Nothing. So that's why I'm mentally chaining myself to this chair. Because I know I would just go and watch YouTube shorts and be like, yes, I'm educating myself. Even in my pain, I'm educating myself. Not really, though, at all. Not, it's not, that's not really what would be the case. So, anyway, if I did this. Oh, I could do that. I guess, I think I said earlier that a lot of streamers don't really, or content creators in general, digital content creators, that is, they don't contribute anything to their audience that is requesting their service. Like, you're not really learning anything, you're not able to entertain any new thoughts or ideas. But even when that isn't really true, I guess as an audience member, you could argue that they're it's the little things that count, like the little acts that they do, or some of their mannerisms that kind of helped them as a person to the audience, as people to have someone to emulate, I guess, even if they're not, educating or entertaining as well as they could be. Yeah, it's bulletproof. And yeah, because all Twitch streamers are great role models. Yep, that's right. The video that I was talking about from the Angry Asian, I just I just laughed because he showed this video where a fan of Kai Cenat he's black and he looked like he was trying to be Kai Cenat because he had the same hairstyle, he had the same do-rag or whatever, and he was wearing a shirt that looked like something Kai would wear. And he said he was dropping out of college to join Kai's streaming university, but he was going to drop out before he knew if he was accepted. And somebody in his chat told him, "Why would you do that? You just dropped out of college when you don't even know you're going to get admitted yet." And he said, "Oh, that's the risk." Like it takes common sense to realize that that's a stupid idea, but also like yes, there's a correlation between risk and reward. They generally increase alongside each other. But the point is that you try to mitigate risk while maximizing reward. Like I feel like a lot of kids are just fiscally illiterate. Like they just don't think. They're just going off they're living life with vibes. No brains, just vibes. Let's see. One, one, two. That's one, two, three. Okay. One, one, two. Now I'm cold. I was overheated like a minute and a half ago. I don't know what happened. Yeah. You guys see how this just does not look right? Like it looks very patchy. And I think that's mainly because of the bricks being somewhat whitewashed. Well, this is probably the original color if they were physical objects. And then this is them getting sullied. Getting sullied. One, one, two. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Oh, whoops. Wrong one. 3, 2, 1. Whoops. There you go. And with that, our bridge is not complete. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna use the restroom. I'm gonna be right back. See ya. Hello, I'm back. See this? See all this tedious work that I have to do? You know what that does to me? It dries up my amygdala. Don't look it up. You'll be scarred for life. Don't look up. Don't don't look up at what an amygdala is. You'll be scarred for life. Never able to recover. Never. Okay. If that's 31 pieces, if that's 31 meshes right there, then this is probably, what, 24? 21? 324? That's my guess. No, like, I'm tired right now. Like, what am I gonna do? Take a nap in the middle of the day? I mean, I guess I could. Wait, what did I put in here exactly? Finish pillar bridge of lower bridge section. Lower bridge section. You guys can't see it. Hold up. Well, that's not what I want you to see. I don't know why I did that. It's not a huge deal, I guess. There's not a lot of data in there. I don't know why I can't select. Okay, now I can select it for some reason. That's great. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna change this to be excluding excluding parts with aqueducts. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be done there. So I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna push. And I'll make a pull request later. But for now, hold on one second. I'm gonna close that. And I'm gonna try and work on my real game. Any second now, any day now. I'm sure it'll come up. It's almost here. Sure of it. Right? It's not capturing. Any day now. Sure it'll work. Any day now. They're slightly different from each other, and I'm not sure why. Well, anyway, not my problem. There you go. We're in the box. We're in the thing. Okay, so actually I implemented the look and move input. So, whoops, wrong thing. I was messing around with the client. Okay, so we have our cube. We can look around, and we get some weird shadows on either side. I don't know if you see those, but they have little notches in them. Not sure exactly why. They might just be blur from our box. But I can move around using AWS and D. I cannot jump. That's always my first instinct, is I want to jump. Jumping is one of my favorite mechanics. But anyways, we can look around, and our character moves. Our cube, that is, moves with our look direction. So ideally, I'd like to prevent that from happening. Use pawn control rotation. Absolutely, we do want that. So here, let's look at. No, I can. If I could just type. Use pawn control rotation. Okay, that's within spring arm. It's within camera options. Let's uncheck that. See what we do there. So now we actually can't look up at all, and that's not desirable. What if we change that within here? Okay, that doesn't change it. If we change it to use controller rotation pitch, then it should pitch up actually. Yep, now it's. See, before it was just our yaw. Right now. Oh, you know what? I think the setting is called use controller desired rotation. But it's still turning with us, and we don't want that. So if we. Where is that? If we turn this off, then never mind. Oh, you know what? Wait. Okay, now I'm just confused. Use pawn control rotation. What I wanted to do is so that what I wanted to do is it only turns to face the direction that I'm moving, not that I'm looking. That's what I mean. Okay, this is a little bit better because now you see that there's a delay. But we still don't really, I'm not really sure we want it to have that behavior. That's fine for now. We can leave it. What is, right now we are in the, let's take a look. Hold on. Oh my gosh. 66 changed files. Hold on, I want you guys to take a look at this and tell me what it makes you feel, you know? I don't know why the heck can't I select it? Why would I not be able to select it? Okay, I can't show you guys GitHub, I guess. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna force it. Okay. So we've made some changes so far in the project that we're currently in, this, right? These files I don't think are relevant because they're all web cache files. I don't know why they're not automatically ignored, but they are. I'm gonna add this to git ignore. I'm gonna add that to git ignore. I'm going to add this to git ignore. Oh my gosh, yeah. I had a .pch file that was so large that committing even one of these files went over the limit. Like I could not publish the branch if I committed it. So I just had to ignore those files. Yeah. If you don't know how source control works, and if you're an aspiring programmer, I would definitely recommend that you get an intro to programming and then immediately get some familiarity with GitHub. Or if you're using Unreal Engine and you don't think you're going to have collaborators, I would use Diversion. Diversion's pretty intuitive. GitHub I like a little bit more. I used to be a Diversion bro, but my collaborator on the castle project converted me. Because originally we were going to use Diversion, and it just wasn't working because I hadn't used it in a while. And so we switched over to this, and it took me a while to get used to it, but this is much better. It just works better with the workflow. Much better. Much better. Yeah, but like look at this. See the little dot there? That means this is technically a file type. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. It's so bad to look at. These are all web cache. Ignore folder type. Yeah, like why is that even there? Dot old. I mean, this doesn't even have a file type. What is this? What? Saved. What the heck does that even mean? These are all under. Most of these are under saved. I just don't get it. Yeah, like this is the only thing that we actually edited, but somehow all this other crap showed up, and I don't know why. Anyway, that's funny. Wait, what? Well, good thing it's not working, I guess. What? Ah, there we go. I don't know why, but one of my sources in OBS is not the way it should be. Okay. So we gotta figure out what else to do. We only have 12 minutes left. What could we do here? Oh, I know. Not that one, actually. Let us open this game structure. Go to player, player controller. I'm double clicking. Why doesn't it open? Hold on, I gotta write something in the commit for GitHub. Use desired rotation equals use controller desired rotation true. There we go. We can't commit. Right. Okay. Why is it that we can't really commit? Oh, I think it's something with there's something that we need to add to Git attributes. Sorry you guys couldn't see that. I just don't want to deal with the sources again. Anyway. Now then. There we go. Delicious. What's at game mode base? Okay. Let's look at our player controller that you actually just cannot see because I didn't show it at all. Hold on. There we go. If I hold on 1 second. I'm doing something. I'm doing something. It's not. Whatever. Okay. Hold on a sec. This is extremely important. Okay. I promise this is so important. This is so extremely important. Like you wouldn't even believe. Okay. There we go. I got it fixed. I did it. Okay. So the flow of this is basically we have our input component set up. And that's in begin play actually. So we're checking the hotend context, and then we have a subsystem for receiving input, and then we're adding a mapping context so that it's going to look for the inputs that are in that mapping context. Because I'll show you what the mapping context looks like in Unreal Engine. Let's see, we have inputs. Here it is right here. So here we have our look action. And then this is the key trigger, which is mouse XY 2D axis. So when you're moving it around, that's what's triggering the look action. and it's taking the value from your mouse velocity, essentially, and it's changing your character's rotation or your camera rotation based on that. And actually, we can look at the logic right now. Let's look at it. So what happens when we look? That would be right here. So when we look, we're creating a vector called look axis vector, which is going to be equal to the value that we get from our input. It's going to be equal to the 2D vector that we get from our value. So it's going to take the value that we get from moving our mouse around, and it's going to convert it into a 2D vector. So, for example, if I have my mouse in the top right position, maybe it's +1, +1, if you think about it like a Cartesian grid. And then if I move it to the bottom left of my mouse pad, that would be -1, -1 in a Cartesian grid. Something like that, right? It's going to be a coordinate pair. And then, so after we do that, we're going to get the pawn that our controller belongs to. And let's say a pawn, controlled pawn. What exactly are we passing in as the pawn? I don't quite understand how this works. But anyways, I just noticed that those are the same. That's a nice little thing. Like, there's a lot of UI in IDEs like Rider and Visual Studio. Like, one thing that you want to do is copy code as little as possible. So see how when I'm highlighting this, it's highlighting this as well. But if I highlight that, if I highlight that, it doesn't highlight that as well. Because they're different things. But this would point out, hey, you have this line over here as well. Maybe you can turn this into a macro and then put that macro in instead of writing it out 2 times. So you can increase your readability. We can make a macro called get the controlled pawn, which is shorter to type. But anyways, we get the controlled pawn, and then we're going to add some pitch input to that, which is equal to our y, right? Because y is up and down on the grid, so we want to look up and down with the camera. And then similarly with this, yaw input is left to right. On the Cartesian grid, x would be left to right, which is why we take that x coordinate. And then we have our move, which is, I mean, self-explanatory. Can't you read? You illiterate bum. I'm just kidding, but feel free to pause it and read all that. I can't. I don't have the faculties to explain. But anyways, we can I'm gonna move this. I like ordering things in my code in a way that makes sense. Like, looking is a more basic action than moving, I think. You're gonna look around at your environment before you move. So I'm actually gonna move that up there. And then I'm gonna move look before move there. Okay. Now we have another input action to make. So we're gonna do that. T object pointer. T object pointer This is going to be another U input action, not rotate action. This one's going to be for jumping. My favorite player mechanic of the basic ones. And we're going to add a callback function, void jump, and it's going to take an input action value. And what does that value look like? Well, what data type is that? Well, it's going to take it from the asset that we have assigned in here. So for example, I'm just going to turn on display capture so you can see. So if we're going to input, like for look, for example, it's axis 2D. We have it set to that. And then in the look function, we have it getting the F vector 2D. If we try to get the Boolean from it, that probably wouldn't work because they're not the same data type. I don't know how you can make that work. But for here, we're going to make an input action called IA_jump. And that is going to be a bool, because all it's going to do is check if we're jumping or not. If we're holding down the space bar, then we are going to jump. And we also have to be touching ground, I guess. But let's see. This is actually going to be virtual void, I think. No, it's not. No, my bad. I forgot how I did this in my other one. This one's a bit tricky because, right. We'll have to figure that one out next time, because the player character inherits the jump function, but the player controller does not. So we'll have to figure out a way to get that built-in jump functionality that's in the engine classes. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow I will be streaming from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I think tomorrow I'm definitely going to take a break from level design and probably Unreal Engine. I'll just work on that at a different time. Maybe we'll go back to Black Book or Voin. We'll have to see about Voin. I'm not exactly sure where to go anymore, but probably just chilling, playing a game. Yeah. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Farewell.